Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing great. So let's talk about wisdom today. So I want us to talk about how to grow in wisdom. So I'm just going to be sharing my experiences, what I've learned, and how to grow in wisdom, guys. So stay tuned. I hope you get something from this message. Be humble enough to learn, because pride closes doors to wisdom. A teachable heart is fertile ground to growth, guys. So sometimes acknowledge that you don't know everything and other people have something valuable to teach you. Because sometimes wisdom comes from people you least expect, comes from the places you least expect. So don't limit where you think God can speak from, because God can use anyone. They can appear ordinary or small to you, but the weight, the depthness of the wisdom they carry can amaze you. It can profoundly amaze you, guys. So don't judge people based on your standard and your own understanding of what people with wisdom should look like. Because wisdom is a gift. It's not a title. So it's not measured by the age, it's not measured by the title, it's not measured by the background. Wisdom doesn't look like stature. It's a gift from God. So you can't tell if someone carries wisdom or not based on how they look, based on their status, based on their background. Some of the best advice and wisdom I've ever received didn't come from experts or people of high status. It actually came from friends, from the heartfelt conversations with friends, family, little siblings, even my clients, when I was willing to listen, when I was willing to learn from them. When you engage in conversations with other people and you listen to what they have to say, you can extract wisdom, ideas, brilliant ideas from them. So wisdom is poured according to your capacity. And what do I mean by that? People are always willing to share advice. People are always willing to share wisdom, guys. Trust me. People are always willing to share wisdom, but they can only share the wisdom up to the extent and level at which the other person is willing to receive. So how willing you are determines the level of wisdom the other person is willing to share. So your capacity determines your intake. The level of engagement, the level of interest you show determines how much the other person is willing to share, how much they're willing to outpour. Your willingness, guys, it's very important. It's very important. How you respond when the other person is sharing their experiences, guys, it's really important, and it determines how much you will receive, how much you get from that conversation, how much wisdom you extract from that conversation. Because no one is willing to just mumble for hours and hours to someone who's not willing, someone who's not even listening, someone who's not engaging in the conversation. No one is willing to do that. Sometimes people just choose to keep their wisdom, keep their knowledge to themselves, because the other person is not willing to what? To receive the wisdom, is not willing to receive the information, the knowledge. So grow your capacity through interest. Be curious, ask good questions, show some interest. Because trust me, once you increase your level of interest, people are willing, 100% willing to pour out more information. People are willing to share ideas. People are willing to share more wisdom. Just be willing, just be humble. Be willing to learn, be willing to listen. Thinking that you know everything, thinking that you can't learn from other people, that's a very poor mindset. There is a lot to learn from other people. There's a lot to learn out there. People carry value, people carry wisdom. They know about things you don't know. They can do something you're not good at. So you can always learn something from someone. Learn, listen, observe. And don't just observe, but take note of the things you need. Analyzing is not just looking at something and just acknowledging that, oh, okay, I see this thing, but is actually unpacking what you see, extracting something from what you see, getting a revelation from what you see and what you hear, extracting wisdom from what you see. So if someone is doing exceptionally well in some area, if they're excellent in one area that you're not excellent in, be willing to learn. Just take note of things. I remember this one time when I had a wig installation appointment, and there was this beautiful lady. So she was doing makeup on some group of girls. Guys, as I was doing the wig installation, one eye was observing on, okay, so which products is she using? How is she doing the makeup? How is she applying the foundation? I was taking note of the things I lack in. I was taking note of the products she's using, so that the next time I don't get expensive products when affordable products work exactly the same as the expensive products do. So I was taking note of the little things. As I was doing the installation, one eye was looking, one eye was observing. It was taking note of what's happening next door. Guys, and that's how I learn. I learn from other people. My journey has always been a learning journey. I've always been that person who's eager to learn. Recognize wisdom as wealth. Wisdom is currency, guys. It's currency. So be willing to engage in conversations. Get something from the conversations. Each encounter can deposit something valuable in you. One idea, one advice can change the trajectory of your business, of your life. Just one idea, just one advice, just one word from someone, just one thing from that conversation you have with someone. It can change so much about your life. It can change a whole lot of things in your life, about your business, about your relationship, about anything. So take it as currency, guys. It's wealth. You need to be rich in knowledge. You need to be rich in wisdom. You have a part to play. Be willing, be hungry to know things. Be hungry to learn. There's a verse that says, "For blessed are they that hunger for righteousness, for they shall be filled." So I'm just going to read Mark 6. This is a very interesting story, guys. I got great wisdom from this. I was willing to listen to the Holy Spirit. I was willing to learn from the Holy Spirit. Mark 6, it says, Jesus left there and went to his hometown, accompanied by his disciples. When the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were amazed. "Where did this man get these things?" they asked. "What is this wisdom that has been given to him?" Guys, they were amazed. They were questioning the level of wisdom Jesus had. They were amazed by his teachings. Then it goes on to say, "What are these remarkable miracles he's performing? Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son, the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. So some were willing to receive the wisdom, some were willing to receive the miracles, but others were offended by that because they were judging based on what the appearance and what they knew about Jesus and his background. They thought wisdom is measured by background, but no, it's not. Then Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his relatives and his own home." He could not do any miracles there except lay his hands on a few people who were ill. He was amazed at their lack of faith. So he couldn't do much because they lacked the capacity. They were not receiving the knowledge, the wisdom. They were busy with other things instead of sitting down and listening to what Jesus has to say. You can't pour 5 liters of water in a 2 liters container. It's not possible because it's limited. It's a 2-liter container. He couldn't do much in the city because of their lack of faith, because they didn't accept him. He could only do the minimum. He couldn't perform as much miracles as he was supposed to. Because of what? Their pride. Because of their offense. Because offense is pride. So you're like, this person, I know all her shenanigans. I know everything she used to do. So what can come out of her? What does she know? What wisdom does she carry? Because you're judging based on her background, based on the history. So be open-minded. Be willing to learn from other people. You don't have to always be the one speaking or giving advice. Sometimes just sit and listen and learn. Watch out, because some of the people you look down upon are the people who are carrying ideas you need, are the ones carrying the wisdom, the knowledge you want, the keys you need for you to actually grow in that business, for you to grow in your spiritual life. They hold the keys to that, and you think they don't look the part. They look like someone who's but what they carry, you can't comprehend it just by looking at